Right, hello, this is the branch vlog for 0.2.2.3, the game loop action version 1.1 here. As you can see, it is quite a big one. I have been quite busy. It was supposed to start in Jan, but I managed to start in December. So this is pre-New Year to the 12th of January, what I've been doing. So, usual case, I start with the bugs first. I will rattle through these because I can explain them, but I won't actually be able to fundamentally show you the bugs because they'll be fixed. So, stuck on shooting animation if moving instantly afterwards. Yeah, I won't play anything on this one, but there was a case where I will play it. There was a case where if I did like that, this might be loud by the way. And like let's say I let go of control, but I was holding D, it would stay in that position and it'd just move around like that, like a Dalek. Fix that one. The number, you can see how old it is. Bugs and tasks share the same number thing like issues in GitHub for this repo, just so you know. So next one, weapon needs to unholster when taken out of equipment slot. Yes, so there was a case where I right click equipped, or I could drag it in. If I right click unequipped, it was still on his back or it was still in his holster. The animations change based on whether a primary main, so this main slot weapon, so main weapon or side weapon class is active. So alongside that, the holster logic needed to be updated to work like the class. So when it's gone, it's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. Like that. So that was that one. Forgets gun and ammo on level movement. Yes, that related to how I redid the ammo, which I will be showing you. I did a full overhaul of the weapons and ammo. I think you'll appreciate it. Shoot weapon infinite bug. This related to I've moved a couple of branches ago. I moved to enhanced input, and normal input is just like pressed, released, and it's done and dusted. But enhanced input is like crazy with all these extra things, and I had to set it up in a way where on started, let's say you've got the gun in your hand, so that's fine, that's true. You're in single or burst, and you've started it, then fire the weapon. If you're in full auto, then it relies on it being triggered, and then on the trigger you then say, is it full auto, and how long has the trigger been, I guess you say elapsed, for how long has the trigger happened, and then that feeds the weapon, and then that creates firing. But before it was unstarted, and if you've looked for how to do like automatic fire online, you will no doubt do the same automatic fire that I did, where I used a time element. No, I don't think I've got the variable anymore. Get fire. I don't have it. Essentially, it fired on a custom event, and after each fire, it invalidated the time handler, and then it was like only fire if invalid. So then it was like fire invalid, fire invalid, fire invalid, and that's how it created the automatic weapon firing. Different to the burst logic, which is a macro like this. So fire delay, fire delay. But yeah, it caused the infinite firing. Fix that one. Click on parts of the equipment widget slot. Yeah, there's an issue where if I equipped a weapon like that or anything, and I like clicked anywhere that wasn't there, it would do just a crash out. Like the infinite loop thing, but it wasn't an infinite loop, but it was a hard crash. It wasn't like an error that popped up on the error screen, the compiler thing. It was like a proper hard crash. Need to register side and main weapon. Right, so you've collected that weapon. That goes into inventory as usual. Like your inventory that you saw when I collected it went into the inventory slot, and then I did right click equipped, and then it went into the equipment slot you saw in the equipment widget. When you right click equipped, it runs this logic. This has been fundamentally rewritten. I'll semi gloss over all these big rewrites now, and then I'll do deep dives into them, just because I did a deep dive into, like, I think ammo version 1 a long time ago when I did it. This is way better. But yeah, that weapon that you right click equipped, that's item. From the item, get the class, feed that class, check see if that class is in the valid weapons. So you see you've got service pistol, you've got PDW, you've got frag grenade, trip grenade, and just service pistol 2. Only index 0 and index 1 are actual weapons at the moment. So is it a valid weapon? Yeah, okay, great. Is it contained in the obtained weapons? So empty, because by default we haven't obtained anything. We don't start with any weapons. And you go, okay, so it's a new weapon. It's a valid weapon. It's new, so it's not contained. Add it. Then from that item, because it's the same thing, you just don't need to drag a wire off. You can just do like get item, as long as you make sure it's pointing to that one and not some other variable you've called item. Data asset. Remember I said I did that branch a couple of branches ago to do with migrating to data assets. So from that data asset, get the weapon ammo type. That is ammo damage type and the float, so the damage. And this one is ammo damage type and the integer, which is the ammo pool, the amount of bullets. So get the main, because this is equipped in a main weapon. So we need to right click equipped on that PDW, the submachine gun. If it's new, do that. Then is it valid? Might not need this now, this is a historic thing. Is the object valid that we've equipped it currently? Great. Is valid. Then unequipped main. Oh, why is it on? One second. Equipped. By default, I believe it's not valid originally. It's not valid originally. So we go down this route. Is not valid, and then it removes it from the inventory, as you saw when we did equipped. It disappears from the inventory, and and then it sets it. That's what it's looking for. It sets it there. Then from there, get the equipment class. You're probably thinking, Nick, you could have done that like there, and technically yes, but I need it to decide whether it's valid or not and whether it feeds the information or not. Main widget, update the slot. So which slots? Don't need to define the slot because I use the equipped unequipped category. So imagine just like a hyphen between those two, equipped and unequipped. So it's main, main weapon main or main weapon. So it goes into the main weapon slot. This was already here. This is new. Load ammo pools into the weapon. So main ammo pool. So we're talking the ammo, the amount of bullets, that same ammo, the damage it does, and the index. That's important because we need to know which ammo pool to feed the ammo back in. Sorry, I thought I was going to cough then. And then I flag it to say yes, main weapon, and then I consume the weapon, and then that. If I now just one sec, sorry. If I do a bit more detail, but I won't do a full deep dive into it, I'll show you the stuff I've changed. So load ammo pool to weapon. Okay, so remember we defined that main ammo pool and main ammo type map and the index and main weapon true false. The side weapon, equipped side weapon has the same thing, and you see depending on whether it's main, it does main at the top, side at the bottom. So it moves. That's interesting. Clearly I'm not using it because it didn't break anything. Right, so what's happening here is we are loading from that weapon into its variables we need into the side weapon variables like bundle or the main weapon variables bundle, ready to be used when we toggle it from to the active weapon. So this is like preloading the variables we need. So the ammo, the damage, the ammo type, maximum amount of bullets in the gun. So you strip it from the ammo pool. That's current ammo. Then we go to consume, and then is the active weapon, is it, so the active weapon, so we've equipped a weapon. If we'd never equipped a weapon before and that was the first one we equipped it, that would be the active weapon. If we equipped a main and then we equipped a secondary, the secondary would not be an active weapon. It's the first one you equipped or the last one you have equipped if you unequipped one of them. Now we can see where it's taken me so long to do all the logic. So if active weapon is not valid, so you've never equipped a weapon before, then is it main weapon true? Or is it main weapon true? Then is the active weapon valid? No, oh, don't do anything. Is the main weapon false and the active weapon not valid? And then don't do anything. But if it is valid, if the main weapon is valid, then the active weapon is the main weapon because you've equipped the main weapon. So you might be thinking, why is it saying side when it's main? Because it's the opposite, you see, because I'm toggling it. So you've got a handgun, and let's say where you've got a handgun in your holster, that's your active weapon. Your main weapon is true, and your active weapon is not valid. For whatever reason, that handgun you've got isn't valid. Maybe you've unequipped it. So while it's the side weapon class, for whatever reason, whatever's going on, it's invalid. Then take that side weapon class because it's invalid and use that as like a toggle, like an opposite. So if we go to toggle active weapon, then we get the active weapon. Firstly, we reload. So reload's been redone. Classic reload thing. You can pause it here if you want it to like replicate it. But at the end of it, I update the ammo pools. So I get the ammo type and I get the ammo pool for that particular weapon, that particular ammo of that weapon. Update it. So that's why reload is triggered, because it's almost like me committing the info. I'm saving that weapon state of ammo for that ammo pool. After I've done that, you see I commit it again because it's working at two different granularities. I'll explain it greater in the deep dive, but it commits it again, and then is the main weapon. So bearing in mind the active weapon we were looking at, what gets fed through active weapon is the side weapon class. So is the side weapon equal to the main weapon class? True. If the active weapon is equal to the main weapon, which it won't be because it's the side weapon, so false, then main weapon becomes active. If we went the other way and it was main weapon, then is main weapon active? Is the active weapon, which is the main weapon, equals the main weapon? True. Then we go up, and that is the side weapon. Before we get to that, we have is valid flags. So is it just valid? Let's say for whatever reason both the main and the side weapon is invalid. Then so the main weapon is valid false and the side weapon is valid false. Then we hollow out the active weapon. So you see we take it all out, zero, we zero it essentially, even though zero is like, we empty it where possible. If we can't empty it, we zero it. And then we do is holstered, and then we toggle the ammo widget, and that's when the ammo widget disappears. Don't need that anymore. That's the logic. If I just follow it through to the top, we have the load weapon to active, and then this is where those pools again check, see whether it's active. We get the ammo index, so whatever index we're currently looking at, whether that's armor piercing or kinetic at the like full metal jack at the moment, we then get that info. Let's say it's the main weapon info, like variables we're passing in, we feed that into the active, and then again I'll shorten it, but what we're doing here is, if you've never equipped that weapon before, then get the ammo details from that items variables that we've pulled in, that we've just, so that's main weapon ammo pool. It's been renamed because that's what we've connected it to into here. So if it's new, pull the info from the item. If it's not new, pull the info from the current ammo pool and then use the current ammo. And that's how, when we unequipped and re-equipped, it persists the ammo. We don't magically just get back to default ammo. I realise I've gone on a tangent for a bug when I should have really discussed it in the feature thing below. But yeah, we'll revisit it deeper on a separate video. Zoom not working since enhanced input. Yes, zoom. Let's see. It was just to do with, it wasn't quite right on the input. If I go to the input now, zoom, I had to change it to axis 1D float instead of like a bool, like rather than scroll up true, scroll up true, scroll down true sort of thing. I know you could technically have it on one. I had to do a one axis 1D float to make it work properly. Holster and weapon status needs to persist. Yeah, so I just made it persist essentially. I added in the extra variables in save. Let's go to the save slot. I just added in these extra variables you see here. You see, like, this main weapon, active weapon, side weapon. This is actually being condensed and it's being tidied up. So yeah, just added in the extra variables that needed added. That's that one. Turn off on death on touch on enemies. Yes, the enemies blueprint. Get rid of zoom. Character, not that one. This one. I had a thing where if you came in contact, there was like an overlap, not a health bar. One of these on hit components, it was just like and kill them essentially. So I just turned that off. It's when I was testing stuff and the guns weren't functioning, so I knew I needed to migrate it on this branch. So it's a branch before I added in that functionality to just kill them on touch. Right click equipment slot doesn't pass back to inventory. I'll show you it working, I guess. So right click equip, we go right click, there you go, got that. You'll see the icon works going back, doesn't there? Something to do with the drag. I fixed one of them, I haven't fixed them all. So yeah, it's working now. Animation blueprint variables not set correctly. Yeah, just some of them were off on, it was playing the wrong animations. Master enemy blueprint dead, logic doesn't behave correctly. It was doing some bizarre, like they were dead but they were still moving. It was because I was faffing about with it. Since then I've added in extra variables to control the death and like resurrection, which I'll talk about here, which is the first issue I ever I ever put down. I've fixed that. I've created that now. But yeah, it's just to do with these Bools being out of sync. Right. Wrong animation sequences on pistol. Right. So just like the animation sequences you will see soon, the protagonist, there was one here. Pistol and PDW, something to do with the aim. When he aimed, it was like the wrong one. It was like pistol and PDW rather than PDW and pistol. The one that is first in line is the one that's the active weapon. So PDW and pistol is submachine gun in your hand, pistol holstered. If it's pistol first, it'd be pistol in your hand. So just a bit of that. Need to store ammo pool for non-toggled items. That double backs to all this stuff, so that's how I save it. Non-toggled weapon, right? Yeah. So you've got your active weapon, side weapon. You've toggled it to main weapon. You've so your main weapon's now active. Your side weapon is inactive. What I'm saying is I need to save that information of that inactive weapon for when you toggle it back or when you unequipped it and re-equipped it, and it persists. And that is partly where reload kicks in. This update pulls, which is just this. It's just an add. Bit of info. Add when the map works like an overwrite. So if this ammo type is already there, like its key, essentially, yeah, there we go. It says key on the top. If the key is already there, it overwrites the value. If the key is not there, it adds it. So you don't need to do like remove and then add. It's overkill. You can just add. The reason why I do a remove here is because for some reason happened way back from when I first did the first ammo consume bunch of function and logic. It added in an empty damage type. It might be something to do with me with like the for loops and I'm missing a step, but right now I just get to, whenever I add one, I just get to wipe the empty. It's literally just an empty ammo type. I could probably just delete that and have that as none, but it's helpful. It's a nice reminder. If I deleted that, it would just look like I've deleted the key. But this way I know the key is nothing, rather than it looks like the key could be deleted. So that's why I've left it like that. Let's go back a step again. Let's just go to event graph. Fixed lights again. Different issue. I've added in an extra functionality here. We've got interact, but we've also got interact lights. Interact lights is L, interact is E. So when I migrated from input to enhanced input, I accidentally put the lights under E, I think, and it was causing some confusion. Constant fire in full auto, I believe that relates to one further up, like we just talked about, infinite shooting. Oh no, the infinite bug was it crashing, hard crash. What I described for the infinite bug was similar to that, but also related to what I was saying about constantly firing and just emptying the clip and not being able to stop when you let go of the trigger. That's what this bug is. So they are related. Fix drag and drop, you saw that one worked when I dragged it back from the equipment slot. Weapon duplication on unequipped. This related to it not wiping the variable for the side or the main weapon when I did right click to unequipped. So then when I right clicked again, it just did unequipped, 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 unequipped. So when you right click unequipped, I get it to wipe the weapon. What I mean by this is, if I actually show you, I mean this. I'm pressing right click, it disappears. It wasn't disappearing, so I could just right click and it would create, every right click would do one instance of this, so you'd have just loads of guns. You do it 10 times, you get 10 guns. Infinite gun loop, I guess you'd say. Non-index zero ammo type pools being fed into. Yes, this is why on the load weapons, you see I hold the index and I feed it the index, because occasionally you'd have kinetic and armor piercing. You've used those 2 ammo pools, great, that's fine. You know, you've used a bit, you saved a bit, you've used 3 rounds in each, whatever. You then switch to weapon 2, and the last ammo type you had in your handgun, which might be armor piercing, would then update weapon 2's first ammo type, because the index used to just be set to 0, and this is why I've got that here. So if it's not valid, if it's not an active weapon, if active weapon is not valid, true, then reset the index, else don't. Persist the index, and then the index is then used to feed it into the appropriate thing. So, you know, bullets going into the right pool, essentially. Shooting and changing ammo balls not triggering. They were triggering. It was just graph. I did. So that's holster. That's jump. That's ammo type. It was something to do with it just happening so fast. It was saying like true and false quicker than the ticker could pick up. So I popped in a delay, and quite cleverly, rather than having a generic delay of seconds, I added in extra variables into this, which you might like to see. Item data asset. No, it's primary data asset, isn't it? It's this one. You see now there's time to shoot, time to reload, time. There is already time to holster and time to unholster, but time to shoot and time to reload. So each weapon is uniquely defined how fast it can shoot or how fast it can reload, and it's fed directly from that particular active weapon. So, you know, the gun takes 10 seconds to reload. I don't need to make, let's say, delay 10 seconds. It feeds it directly from the active weapon. I've done lots of clever upgrades on this one. Same for that. Time to reload. Same logic. And shooting was happening. The true was happening so fast that it wouldn't be picked up. So you see now I've got time to shoot, and I do like a little delay in the a little slice right there. Technically, with brace shooting, when I add that back in, I'll need to stick it right there as well. That's what I've done. I thought I was going mad. It was just happening too fast. Highlight sprite. Yes. So watch the little sprite when I go near it. You see that little thing? I just made that like 200% bigger, because the items have got potentially twofold. Well, I have got twofold, so I just need to make that twofold. Need to code test. Yep, did that. Different weapons, changing rooms, loads of stuff using bits. I will give you a showcase at the end of this, by the way. And I will get through it a bit quicker. Sorry, I did say this was going to be a long one on the post yesterday. On same weapon, unequipped and re-equipped values are reset. That's where I mentioned in the load weapon, if you've had this weapon before, so if active weapon history, if that weapon you've just turned to active, loaded to active, is it in the history? Yeah. Okay, then use the history, else use the variables that you saw we've popped in. So that's that one. Control, yeah, you get that aim cursor when I aim with a gun. It was showing on the button, regardless of with the other weapon. So I've just set that up with a is holstered thingy, like active weapon. Can change ammo type without weapon unholstered. Yeah, again, these are just little extra balls you need to pop in. So there you go. So now we can't change your ammo type. You need to be is not holstered. Is holstered not? Yeah, but yeah, just had to add in that extra and. Unequipped and re-equipped does not pull in the same ammo values correctly. That's where that index was needed. Ammo widget needs to be hidden. when both weapons are unequipped. Yes, so this ammo widget you're going to see pop up when I equipped one. When I unholster one, sorry, didn't disappear when I unequipped it, and now it does. And also, I think it's a bug as well. You unequipped a weapon, and you saw me right click unequip that machine gun, the submachine gun. By default, pre this branch, it popped the gun back in the handgun in your hands, like you didn't need to unholster it. But change holster animation, I've fixed that now. Change holster animation should only play when weapon is unholstered. Change ammo holster animation should only play when weapon is holstered. Yeah, I think it relates to this one that were created at the same time. Just things being out of sync with like the Bools. Idle animations with eyes closed, blinking. Tweaked the sprite on the character. So let's see. Is he gonna blink? Come on, you gonna blink? Does he not blink on this one? I thought I made him blink. T. Oh, he doesn't. I didn't get him to blink on this. Well, that's new. I'll put that down as a bug. He doesn't blink on the PDW. See if he blinks on any of the PDWs. Right, so I just haven't added an extra frame to do blinking when he's got both guns. You might be thinking this toggle thing's pretty slick, like that. Yeah, that didn't happen by default. I had to code that. And if the handgun took half a second to unholster and the submachine gun took 3 seconds to unholster, do you remember that active time to unholster, time to holster thing, time to reload, all that stuff? It feeds into this. So that's why if you watch them, they actually unholster and holster at different speeds. I'm well pleased when I did that. It looks, it's like starting to look real good. But anyway, back onto the mission. I will fix the not blinking for that one situation with both the gun, where the submachine gun's in his main hand, is where it's active. Reset ammo type index on unequipping. Yeah, we talked about that. When ammo pool will equal 0 on reload. When it equals 0 here, I had to set it as a local variable. You see on the bottom left, local variable ammo diff. The output of this clamp, I had to set it as a local variable, because if I pointed it like that to there and I pointed it like that to there, between here, here, and here, and here, the ammo changed. And if you had reloading 2 bullets, that's cool, take 2 bullets from the pool. But if you had an empty clip, empty magazine, empty gun, and you reload it, there was a chance it could just do something ridiculous. So I set it in stone with a local variable. It's only local because I'm only using it within this scope, rather than just sticking another, like these are technically like all global variables. So a lot of them could probably be local on like a logic pass in the future. So fix that bug. Zombie medical changes to wrong state machine on injured. Yes, it's because I just pointed them wrong. Zombie medical black, not pointing to the correct sprites. Yep, I had black pointing to scarred. I will go through the zombie medical ones because I've turned them all to version 3. It will be worth the wait, but you can use the timestamps in the about thingy if you want to like see the cool stuff I've done there. That one is really good. Did that today actually. Drew them all today. A few times the wrong animation sequences are played, all kind of related. You'll see here and up was very much like weapons and ammo, and now we get enemies and how they interact. That's because this is where I finished weapons and ammo and I moved to the next bit. So yeah, it's just to do with the states not playing right, the Bools not being correct, things like that. Some of the sprites being wrong in the flipbooks and the animation sequences. They were making noise when they were brain dead, so when they were dead, So we don't want them to make any noise if they're dead or brain dead. If they're brain dead, they're true dead, so they can't make noise logically. But even when they resurrect, I don't want them to make noise until they resurrect. So fix that bug. That was here, so is dead. Not that one actually, that's the wrong bit. Here you go. Is dead, false, then play the fine sound and all that, but essentially play it, when the guy, it's because I've spotted you. So you have to be alive. This, look at how unwieldy this is. This was like one of the first things I did. Out of control comfort compared to the normal formatting now. This is a messy blueprint, but it's simple really in nature. New game now resets variables. Yes, in the game instance, right here, not there, here, reset Vars. So resets John, resets the level, resets the NPCs, the enemies, because we saved the location now and the state of them. Also whether they're dead and whether they can, and the resurrect is like an RNG. It's quite a low RNG and it's a high RNG. I'll tweak it before we play it so you can see it, and I'll do my best to not shoot him in the head. Reset the storage, because all those storage persists once you've interacted with it. So a new game, those storages would still persist in the game instance, so I need to wipe it. So RNG, an RNG pass, wipe the quests, wipe the traits, wipe the music. That I'm working on. It does play the music, it overlaps the music, but it's not related to this branch, so it's got bugs against its name, but it's not. I'll fix it next. Walk animation's not looping. Yeah, enemy blueprint, blueprints, character, enemy blueprint. I just, in the walk, you see here in the sequence, I did a little tick, loop animation. It just wasn't looped, so the feet didn't move. Minor gap in the hallway texture. This, it relates to Blender. I will show you it. Just give me a sec, because it's gonna have to load it up. It might take a little while. Yeah, I guess it's just because I didn't use it for ages. Right there, here. Oh, I can't do it. You see where that cursor is there? That was invisible because I can never remember the buttons. Blender's got real finicky. Move around there. This was in here. I have an alpha. You see, I've got normal. So anything that's cut out is gone. But also, this is like gone anywhere. So if I drag anything there, if I drag that down, this stuff would start disappearing. It'd just be see-through. You just see this. You see through it. So it was just, I had to shrink it. I've kind of done a quick botch job because you see it's cutting off a bit of stuff. I just shrank it the tiniest bit. Works for now. Feature. Oh, here we go. Good stuff. Hopefully you're still watching, because this one and 937 are the big, are the fun ones, I think. Respawn, right? So let's close down John. Let's go to enemy. Get rid of that. Respawn resurrect. Sorry. So we've got the new Bools. Can resurrect. Redid this. This was from previous branch, I think. But you see here. So event begin play. Style. So set the style. The movement. Probably don't need that. Works for now. It's throwback. Load enemy variables. And then here is dead. True. Then are they brain dead? True. Then stop. Stop is my function. Disables movement. Hides the health bar if you're in perspective. In orthographic it's already hidden. and turns off its AI. It just, well, it doesn't turn on, it says it's dead, so it just kills the AI logic. The AI blackboard, let's say they're dead, but they're not true dead. They are stopped, but then they, tick, where's it got tick? Oh, this function used to be bigger, used to have a bigger purpose, so they are stopped, but then they resurrect, and the resurrect is minimum chance, no, was it min max? Think. Oh, it's there. Minimum time, maximum time, and chance they'll resurrect. You see, it's very low. It's 10% at the moment. So between the minimum and maximum time, that's resurrection time. Get random float between 0 and 1. If the chance, so if 0.1 is higher or equal to the random float true, then resurrect. And the current health is a ratio of their max health, so it's 3. So, oh, it's divided. Yeah, so max health divided by 3. So it's 40. So 33%. That's their current health. On resurrect, done. Else, not resurrected. This pass happens currently every time you enter the level. You remember I talked about Resident Evil 1 remake with the Crimson Heads, and they wouldn't always come back to life if you didn't set them in fire or shoot them in the head, but there's a chance they could do, and it could happen the first time they're back, it could happen the 6th time they're back in a room. This is what I've created. On resurrect, goes to a custom event. You might be thinking, why have you done a custom event? Can't really do delays in a function, so I feed it to a custom event for a delay. That's often the case if I feed it to a custom event. Resurrection time minus 3 seconds, because that's how long it takes for the animation to play for them to come up. So they resurrect, they stay still for a bit, and then it kicks off. Otherwise, they'd start moving while they're like still getting up, like something's not right. Once a delay is completed, they are set resurrected, true or false, regardless of whatever the value is, set that as the true value, the global variable. An extra delay. I'm curious now why that's there. An extra delay. Start. So again, my variable. Start the movement. There is no enable movement. You can disable character movement, but to enable it, you have to set movement mode to walking. So they're moving again. The health bar is visible again, and you're triggering the is dead AI. So like an is dead pass, hey, is it dead? And then that, like, I guess it's like it defibrillates the AI and goes, oh, it's not dead, let's back in action. I believe that's why I've kept it in. So that's on resurrect, and then after that we have dead on start, false, is dead, false, resurrected, false, brain dead on floor, false, because we want them to come back with less health. They're just a weaker version of their current self. It's almost like we're resetting the variables, but very ad hocly. I will do a run through at the end. I know this is a really long one. This is the biggest branch I've ever done. Short of when I drew all the initials for all the enemies and NPCs last year. Make crosshair and have it active on aiming. That's an old one, but I've done it. I just ticked it off. I've already got a crosshair. Refactor, aiming crosshair, mouse. It doesn't appear until you fight. Yeah. Originally, it didn't appear. This was done, again, really old. We're in 900s now, remember, so this is old. There was a delay in it, and I just never knocked it off. So technically it's a refactor and not a bug, but a refactor. Did that ages ago. Equipped weapon toggle functionality. That's where I was talking. I've already showed you, haven't I? I'm really pleased with it. Like, really, genuinely, I'm really pleased with it. The fact that Like I've got it fully functional. Like you see, that looks real good. You know the way it moves across. You can shoot. Might be loud. It now says reloading. Change ammo. Changing ammo. Like that. Got da 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 da. But even this, like, right. Main. Huh. Have we found something interesting? I've created this and well, I guess it's good to play test it. We found a bug where the non-active weapon, when we unequip, gets re-equipped first. It doesn't always. See, that should be on the back now, and it's not. And then they both are. Something to do with the is valid logics going out. But let me show you what I'm trying to say. So I equip that. The submachine gun, the PDW, should be selected, right? But if I press T, even though I've not unholstered it, if I press H, I've definitely bugged it out. So I was expecting it to show something opposite, but it's fine. I'll have to change that outline as well on the door. So that's a bug. Okay, so I've got 3 bugs now. Sorry about that. Let me pause it and just put them in. Right, I'm back. I just put on the bugs now before I forget. Yeah, so toggle functionality is there. Dead enemies stay dead instead of destroyed. Yes, originally when they died, there was like a destroy actor at the end. Now there isn't. They just persist on the floor. Let me show you. Let me show you it quickly now, and then I'll show you properly in a bit. We want blueprints. We want character, enemies. We've gone back to only using zombie medical for the moment because I've really fleshed it out. So, you'll see different zombies, but there's 5 variations of zombie medical, the variants, rather than loads of different ones at the moment. Something for me to work on. It's just I wanted to get everything up to version 3, which is what I'm talking about with that last one. Right, so let me kill them. I'll show you that they stay dead instead of destroyed. Might be loud, might be loud. Right, I'll go out, I'll come back. They're true dead, their heads went pop, so they will stay there. But you'll see they're also not destroyed, so logic holds. There you go. I'm gonna make him pretty. Here we go. Oh no, I've pressed unholster. Wrong button, wrong button. Yeah, I need to get the aim in a bit better, so it's a bit harder to shoot him in the head. But yeah, you can see it persists. Upgrade weapon functionality to use data assets logic. This is already done. I did a bit of routing and did a bit of housekeeping. Here we go, here we go. D. Service pistol. There you go. So you got your time to shoot, you got your time to reload, time to holster, time to unholster, all the goody goodness. You see the pulls I talked about, the damage. Oh, they do the same damage. Silly me. It's because I was doing it quick. That's the pulls of the ammo. Right, while rear, should we change the PDW? Oh, of course I have. Kinetic should be weaker. Let's say it's a bit weaker than the handgun, but the armor piercing is like 19 or something. Yeah, something like that. Reason for the handgun. Right. Refactor on consume. My god, on consume was if you look through my old videos and you look for like ammo something version 1 or something to do with ammo from last year, that's what on consume was the ammo, and I could show you where it used to be. It ran on tick every time anything changed on tick, these debugs are inactive. I just like to plug them in. But it ran on tick here constantly, and I moved that all the way from being an on tick to on the equipped, and that's what consume weapon is. And this is like, it's not even related in terms of, you know, the vast difference. It might as well be a completely different thing. It's just got a similar, it shares the name, like a renamed thing. So yeah, that's that. Big changes if you look at the old way to the new way. I'll do a deep dive. I'll set up a deep dive video. I'll name it the same as that original one, but then I'll do it like a version 2. And I'll link them or something at the end of the video so you can see how it's transitioned. Dead enemies stay dead. Oh yeah, we already talked about that one. Huh. I already put it in twice. Oh, I've done one as a feature. Ah, silly me. No wonder I couldn't find it. It's on me. Tweak Structs out of John. Yeah, so before I had data assets and everything, if I changed a bit of one of these structs, as you will know if you've done it yourself, like if I added an extra variable, it would wipe these all to default, and I'd be like, oh, for God's sake. And all this faffing about, and then begin play used to pull from the game instance. Now, is it a new game? Then it resets the variables, that reset variable thing we saw in the game instance. Then it uses the variables with the values for the variables we've got in the John blueprint we're looking inside of right now. Else use the load ones from this. This is how it usually look all the time. I've chopped it down a bit. It will get refactored again, but you see, just giving it a nice tidy pass. Way better, much slicker. Doesn't always get used. If it's new game, doesn't use it. So this way, though it nulls them out, if I added a new variable, it doesn't matter because the information gets fed from this blueprint's variables into the game instance first time, on first, like on first load, on first go, on run time, run count equals 1. So yeah, stops that headache. Added empty damage type. We talked about that for the remove, just to get rid of that thing, and like a placeholder for me not to accidentally remove an empty remove in the future. John, the initial variables come from the blueprints of the game instance. Yeah, I just mentioned it, didn't I? Event tick. Yeah, tick's changed. Tick no longer has on consume. It still has the look left, look right logic. That can definitely be changed now. That's one of the first things I did in 2023. So that one, we talked about that one. Added time to reload, yes, we talked about that. Only show ammo vals on finish reload, yes, because it now says changing or reloading, changing ammo or reloading. And it does the dots, doesn't it? Before it showed you the values, but you wouldn't be able to do anything with the values, and it felt illogical, because if you knew the values, why could you not use the values, if you know what I mean? Time to shoot, yes, we talked about that. Toggle ammo function to holster on inactive rather than toggle ammo function to holster inactive rather than unholster inactive. Yes, this, show it one more time. When I have that and I unequip the machine gun, now we've got no weapon. That's what I'm talking about, because by default, its default functionality was the toggle was auto falling back onto the side weapon, and it was auto. It would appear without a holster animation. The handgun would just be ready like magic. So that's what that one's about. Migrate to full auto enhanced input. Yes, we quickly talked about that. We have shoot. Where are we? here. Right, so we've got shoot weapon, right? If we follow shoot weapon, look at the inputs, enhanced inputs, we look at shoot weapon, we have a pressed and we have a hold. Now we used to have a pressed, so press it, half a second later something happens, we now have a hold. No need to hold it for X amount of time. It's the same, something happens after half a second. The difference is the hold gets used through the the triggered. So hold held, so it's been triggered, started goes first, so single shot or burst. Hold goes after started, so it goes to triggered, and then that's where I've got that elapsed time. So if I wanted to actually have a hold, like almost like a charge up, I could set up a charge up. That's that. Tweaks to ammo widget. Yeah, we talked about the ammo widget with a couple earlier, but let's just show you it. This widget, I redesigned the whole setup here. It was very rudimentary. It's a bit tidier now. Naming conventions got tidied up. I added in some vertical, horizontal boxes, size boxes. We now have get. Let's go. So that's the same. Get ammo info. If you're changing ammo reloading, then do the dots. Else, show it. If fire mode, it's just what fire mode is. Consume's not used. Consume used to say you on reload. It's got you've added in 15 rounds. That's why I've never fixed this error. This is like the version 1 weapon. Look, it's coming from the inventory as well, not even the player. Never fixed it because it's not used, and I want a placeholder for when I do fix it. I know where to start the look. Ammo type, so there you go. Changing ammo, dots, else, get the ammo type. They're not called armor piercing and full metal jacket. This is just a quick first pass to see how it looks for me. So if it's got AP in its name, then call it armor piercing else full metal jacket. But this will get refined. This is just, it could be anything else, you know what I mean? And it all becomes full metal jacket. This is just like, see how it looks for me. See if I like it. Functional for the ammo types we have at the moment. Change ammo type refactor. Refactor is, enhancement is something better. Like I've made something better. Refactor is, it does the same thing, but I've made it slicker. Ammo type, so changing ammo type, go to toggle ammo type. Active ammo, so we first reload it and then we update the ammo pools. Look at the active weapon, look at its pools. Look at the length of its pools, so if it's got armor piercing and kinetic, that's 0 and 1, so technically 2 in length. Toggle it, so if you've got like full metal, kinetic, armor piercing, kinetic armor piercing, kinetic armor piercing, that's what that's doing, rather than doing kinetic armor piercing error, because you've reached the end. It's going to start back at the beginning. We get that index, we get the active ammo map, so the actual active ammo map. This is the active weapons ammo map, so the ammo maps we have in the weapon versus the actual ammo map we've got for all the weapons, like, you know, the obtained weapons. If it's in there, then use that ammo map within the obtained weapons. Get that active damage, get that ammo pool, and then reload from that active, the ammo pool we have, rather than, you know, just defaulting the values to just, you know, you unequipped, re-equipped, all your stuff's back to normal, you got all your ammo back. This is how I create that ammo persistence on ammo type change. Migrate from string names, so yeah, here, event graph, animation blueprint. We used to have string names. Got rid of string names, cut them out of the struct and the save and load, and I've done the same thing for here. I've just migrated it to classes. Since we're already using these classes, might as well just use the classes. and then I can just drop down and pick it. So the animation blueprint and the blueprint, as well as taking the strings out here, I also take the strings out in like the equips and stuff. You see, like it's just using like the classes, and that uses feeds a class, and then that goes to consume, which feeds a class, and that goes to that, which feeds a class. They all use, some of them used to use strings. Like that, you would use a string to pass through. So it's cutting out the middleman. Hid orthographic. Yep. If I show you. So orthographic, perspective, health bars. See how it looks. See the difference. See how I feel about it. So I can compare and contrast. Create zombie medical death variant for non-dead. Yes. Let me get it up for you. We're nearly at the end. I'm going to play some like Ready or Not or Stalker 2 after this. I've been doing this flat out today, like 6 hours. So that's why I'm slow. Enemies, zombie, medical, raw. Here you go. You see, these are all version 3 as well. You'll notice I did it all today, literally today. No more version 2. So that's like true death. So he shot him in the head, like poof, he shot him in the head while I stood up. Then there on the floor, and then we have non-true death. See their eyes. They go like that. Looks like something out of what's it called? Like, is it Bed Box or something? I can't remember. I forgot his name. Sandra Bullock film. Their eyes look like that. Go like that. Difference is the head. I haven't been showing the head, so it's not true death. And then that's death, and then that's true death on the floor. So currently, if you shoot him again, it'll give him true death on the floor. On the next pass, I'll get it so you actually need to aim at the head while they're on the floor. Other, to like essentially shoot them in the head on the floor, rather than it just being default with like the one extra round. But after dead is now true dead. So that's that. That's that. Maybe I need to take out those pixels, maybe. But yeah. So now we've got the differentiation between that, and you already saw the Bools. Then we have the Master Enemy Blueprint. This is a prototype one, version 3 I've created. So now the animations feed from the enemy. So if we look on the left, you see we've got a map again. So we've got the integer, so the style, which we set up be in play, and then these are animations. So if I go to the zombie medical up, I don't. Zombie medical. You see here, I populated them all. So there you go. So you've got the idols, you got that, you got that, you got that. And what that means is I can feed it directly from the parent child. So that the zombie medical is a child of Master Enemy Blueprint. Master Enemy Blueprint holds everything you need. So then Master Enemy Blueprint and its children, so zombie medical, takes from that idle map, gets the style randomizer, finds it and plays that animation. This is a radical change because I'm going to scroll out and show you something now. This was a simplification. This was a version 2, and all the different state machines work like that, like this, like that. And you see, I just had to pick it each time for the right one, and it was toggled on what bull it was, whether you're injured, initial damage, resurrected, all that stuff, but also on your name, the enemy name, which is there. I've completely refactored it, and it's an insane change. Like I can't describe how. If you've done this stuff before, you'll figure out how, you'll understand how insane it is. So technically, I get all these enemy blueprints, all the different ones. I feed in all their animation blueprints there, with the appropriate style indexes. So then when that index 0 runs, it runs that appropriate style for for each one. Then I can't find it. I'm all over the place. Oh, am I blind? I just have it up. There. Then it'll all work on one state machine with one set of unified rules, with one set of unified thing like that, and it'll all just work nice and neat. I do need to flesh this out to include badly injured and uninjured to injured thing pass. But yeah, what you're seeing here, that can all be simple. These are all like individual blueprints, animation blueprints. Then I put it in one master blueprint. That was the overhaul a couple of branches ago. And all this can now be changed to just that on one state machine like that. Nice and neat. But currently I've only got animation zombie medical set up like that. But I have got it all there. Functionally it works brilliantly, as you're going to see. Dead on floor. So dead on floor is... So if you kill them, but you don't... If they're dead but not brain dead, so if you haven't shot them in the head, dead on floor true will trigger somewhere. There's like a true here somewhere. I've misplaced it, I can't find it. Here somewhere, but they will be dead on floor. And when on dead on floor, off the back of that dead on floor logic then comes like the resurrection logic, and then comes the like brain dead on floor, so that extra animation plays different when we shoot them in the head, rather than them mysteriously standing back up and then falling down for the stood up brain dead animation. Added a dance functionality. I'll show you it, you might like it. I made it ages ago and I never made it a proper functional thing. If I hold this key, it's like the Utah Saints dance thing. So I just add it in. Thought I'd have a bit of fun. And then the last one, full change from version 2 to version 3. So everything. So we'll get out of this room. Let me get some stuff. Right, let's get into the hallway. This is like me doing a run through as well, by the way. It's this one. Equipped. Armor, if you see on top right. Equipped. Boom. There we go. Full armor. See, he's biting me, and then the armor protecting me a bit. I guess they do get stuck. I do need to look at that. Right, him. He's not true dead. There's a chance he's going to resurrect. So let me go see the others. Put perspective on. Oh, right in the face. Right, see that one? That one might get back up. Let me come in and out of this room a bunch of times. It's only 10% chance. I forgot to change the thing. So it might not. It might take us a couple of goes. And we also don't know when it can resurrect. It could be anything between like a second and like 10 seconds. If it don't work in a couple of goes, I'll make it always resurrect, and you'll see what I mean. You might be noticing I'm doing like unlit. It's because I need to work on the lights. I've just turned the lights off at the moment. Let's give it one more go to see if it resurrects. And then I'll just force it to resurrect. Couple of seconds. You know, let's just kill it and force resurrect. Master enemy. Resurrect chance. Have I just stuck it down here? No. Respawn. Resurrect chance. 100%. Alright, let's not brain death kill him. Armor piercing. Oh. There we go. Ah, finished him off. Sorry. Oh, that's not gonna finish him off as well. Let's try this one. Shoot him in the legs, it does different damage. Oh good, he's stuck. Right, he's 100% gonna come back when I come back in the room. That first delay, I remember now, the first delay in resurrect is so they don't resurrect before you see them. Watch him. There you go. And now I've got to go. Hey, over here. Hey. Oh, he doesn't do all the animations. Oh, I need to look at that bug. Then it looks like on resurrect I need to change the logic. He'll be walking about again now. There we go. Boom. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you create resurrecting monsters. And I was well pleased. You can probably tell I'm pleased because it's the first thing I ever said I wanted to do when I moved to GitHub this project in January 2024. So I did it. That's it. That's the branch. Next, I'm doing crafting, which you can see if you've been clever. It's there. Crafting won't take that long. Ammo crafting as well as food crafting. Really flesh it out. This is already all kind of been discussed. I'm going to do widgets for all these different computer animations and stuff, interactions. New items, that's already been discussed, I believe. But the only extra one I've added is AI Sense, which kind of fits him real nicely to, you know, when I said, like, oh, he's stuck, oh, he's not doing anything, oh, he's acting weird. That's to do with the AI. Used Ryan Langley's videos on creating like a blackboard AI tree, and that was last year, so I haven't given it a proper pass at all, you know, like quality pass afterwards. That's the most recent, that's the only thing I've ever done. That plus in range was done probably 6 months ago to control the noise and make it so it don't make sound when it's dead. Apart from that, I've never touched it. So I'll raise the other bug to do with the arms not moving, like it just being stuck at idle when it's resurrected. It will be to do with how this is working with, because it's resurrected. True, I'll have to have a rule here to like force it to like essentially do something like that to drag it back, but maybe not from resurrected. But that's it. Thank you for your time. The next one will be out in approximately a week and a half, maybe under. And then yeah, that's it. Thank you. I'll see you in a bit.